mute. We have less than a minute. If you are not a city councilor, if you could take your camera off, that would be great. Thank you. I'm going to start the recording.
Recording in progress.
Good evening. Welcome to the Easthampton City Council meeting for Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. The meeting tonight is being recorded and broadcast live via Easthampton Media on Charter Channel 193 and live streamed on Easthampton Media's YouTube channel. All councilors and participants in this meeting are gathered remotely under an executive order by Governor Baker, extended to April 2022, which allows us to do so. I remind both the members of the City Council and of the public to remain on mute until recognized by the chair. Also, for members of the public, please remove your camera for the duration of the meeting unless you are participating in public speak or the public hearings. Thank you. This meeting is now called to order. Barbara.
Peg Coniff.
Here.
Salem Derby.
Present.
Erica Flood.
Here.
Omar Gomez.
Here.
JP Kaczynski.
Present.
Tom Peak.
Here.
Dan Rist.
Here.
Lindsay Rothschild.
Here.
And Owen Zaret.
Present.
We'll now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of November 17th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second for the minutes from November 17th. Any further discussion? Barbara.
Peg Coniff.
Aye.
Salem Derby.
Aye.
Erica Flood.
Aye.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
JP Kaczynski.
Yes.
Tom Peak.
Aye.
Dan Rist.
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild.
Aye.
Owen Zaret.
Yes.
Okay, and now we are at public speak. For those who would like to participate in public speak on any topic other than what is in the public hearings, because we will give you a separate opportunity during the public hearings to speak. Remember that the City Council may only listen to your comments, but we cannot respond. We ask that you remain respectful and direct your comments only to the City Council. If you would like to speak, there's a raise hand function under the reactions option, and we'll ask that you remain on mute and keep your camera turned off. And before commenting, if you could please state your name for the record, your address or your precinct or your town if you are not from Easthampton. You'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. We have a public hearing at 6:15, so if we have more people that would like to speak, we'll resume after the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public at this time that would like to make any comments?
Not seeing anyone, Madam.
Okay. All right. It always takes me longer to do that preamble than public speak. Before we go into the public hearings, is there any elected official, board, or committee member who would like to do any communications at this time? Councilor Zaret.
Thank you, President Coniff. Wanting to wish everyone here, certainly, and in Easthampton, a Chag Chanukah Sameach, a happy Hanukkah. We're currently about to celebrate, this is the 4th night of the holiday. It's a holiday that celebrates the victory of the then Israelites against the Assyrians who had taken over their holy land and desecrated their temple. It's a holiday that celebrates victory against few of the many, against the many. And as many people are probably aware about the holidays, we celebrate for 8 nights because we had oil in the temple that magically and miraculously lasted for 8 nights when we lit it before more could become available. I reflect a lot about this holiday and bringing light into the darkness. I think about the darkness that has enveloped us for closing in on 20 months with this pandemic, and how we, all of us certainly here on the City Council and city government, the city of Easthampton and beyond, have found ways to bring light into the darkness that surrounds us with COVID-19. And some of the little miracles that have happened with coming up with a vaccine with such unexpected in such a short period of time. And I always think every year too about how there's 9 candles on the Chanukiah, the Hanukkah menorah, and how there's 9 of us sitting here. So we're all here to bring light to each other. This year will be the 6th year of a celebration in Easthampton, a community menorah lighting. BYOC, bring your own candles and menorah. Typically it's held on the pond, but this year, in hopeful anticipation of people coming out because it was held virtually last year, it will be under the tents, the ones that are situated near John Bader Park at 50 Payson. That's at 6:30. There's some stuff going on with the Cottage Street Business Association. There'll be a luminaria up the street and some stores open late, so check those out. Anyone who's interested in offering a few words or readings, please approach me. This is meant to be a multi-denominational event to bring the community together and to share this holiday with everybody. So hope to see you there. Again, that's 6:30. December 4th is Saturday at 50 Payson. And also the night afterwards also is Jubilation. I don't know if that's been advertised widely. I believe that kicks off around 5 o'clock. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Rist.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm here to announce for the 7 returning counselors our meetings coming up in January, as Rule 4A designates me as the presiding officer for the organizational meeting. I wanted to make sure everybody got the email that we are going to have it immediately following the swearing in. It will be a Zoom meeting as well as be in person. We'll all wear masks. That'll happen at the conference room adjoining the dispatch office. There's a conference room there. The swearing in is currently in the fire department station, as it was 2 years ago. Secondly, on January 5th, I am setting an agenda with Barbara because unfortunately, that's 2 days after the council organizes, and we need to get an agenda posted by open meeting law. So that agenda will be very limited. The new president won't be involved until after January 3rd. That new meeting will be the simple limited agenda of public speak. The new president will announce committees, but we will have no committee reports. And I ask, the reason I'm announcing this evening is please do not attempt to schedule public hearings for January 5th, as we won't have committees set. So it's important that we allow our new counselors to catch up, and also I think it's wise not to have public hearings on that day. So for the mayor and for all of the counselors and current chairs, if you need to schedule public hearings, it will have to be on the 19th of January. So that's all I wanted to say, just to give you a heads up on all that. Thank you.
Anyone else from elected officials, boards and committees? No? All right, Mayor LaChapelle, we can skip ahead to your communications if you have anything you'd like to say this evening.
Yes. Thank you, President Conniff. We sent out a press release around the tax rate and evaluation of for the city, and our tax rate for the coming fiscal year will be $16.53. That's $1.01 less than the current tax rate. The press release, and I'm not sure, I'm actually looking for it. I did not expect to talk so early.
Sorry.
No. I should have been ready at the go. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so the tax rate, the fiscal year 22 tax rate is $16.53 per thousand of assessment. As I said before, it's a reduction of $1.01 from the 21 rate of $17.54. There was an increase to residential improvements by approximately 8%, while the same costs remain consistent for commercial, industrial, and personal property, also known as CIP. The value of land in Easthampton remains steady and also unchanged. Though residential values increased by 8%, the increase in the average single-family tax bill was only 1.49%, or approximately $72. The average CIP bill was reduced by just over 5%, or approximately $476, which we are hoping will assist businesses dealing with the challenges of the pandemic. For a side note, the total value of all Easthampton property is $1,967,497,770. I will also just remind folks that we're a quarterly billing community. So what's going to happen is that the tax bills in that coming calendar year 22 will reflect adjustments of the new tax rate. And the first two tax payments were preliminary based on last year's tax rate. So I know we get a lot of questions, and of course, my office and the assessor's office more than happy to answer those questions. So that is one thing I'd like to share. We also got some really exciting news that literally hot off the presses from the Lieutenant Governor, that the IT department, our city IT department, was awarded $135,000 to completely redo the police data collection and software system that will also help EMS and fire. You will see soon an appropriation for the remainder of that project out of cannabis, which I find very appropriate, and we'll leave to this body when the appropriation goes through. We're looking right now at needing about another $220,000 to do it in all fell swoop. We've got quotes. It's really a nice package, and I'll attach it to the appropriation. I'm hoping to get that to this body by your next meeting. But the fact that the $135,000 grant was stunning. It was from the Community Compact Grant for IT. It's one of the largest that the city has ever been awarded in this area. Hats off to NOAA and our department head, Dr. Karen Kemhort, for just really leading on this issue and pulling together a very, very strong application. And I have one more thing. I'm sorry. Also, we starting on Monday, we have made Bree, our health director, has put together a relationship with Curative, which is a national-based testing company, and they'll be doing free COVID testing on Mondays and Thursdays in City Hall, but also at Eastworks in front of the RMV on Saturday. So this is free. You don't have to be an Easthampton resident. You just have to basically get ready to have your nose tickled. I think the testing is, we were trying to get testing in the city for a while. Curative, it is free to everyone. If you have an insurance card, they'll ask you for it, but that should not prevent you from getting testing. This is a great opportunity for us to get more data around community transmission and also any of the new variants that are coming out. Testing provides so much data. It is really a part of the key mitigation techniques we have, along with wearing a mask, washing our hands, socially distance, vaccination, and booster. So we've got one more, and come get tested. You know, it's not like voting. You actually can test often. So we encourage you to do that. Vote once, test often. President Conniff, absent questions, that's all I have to share tonight.
Anyone from the council have any questions of the mayor? Councilor Kwasinski.
Thank you. The question, it's great news about the grant, Madam Mayor. Very much appreciated to all the staff. Kudos. I had a quick question about the COVID testing and just was wondering if, like at HCC, will the Eastworks be a drive-through situation, and will this be outside, or will folks have to come inside for the testing?
Right now, all the testing will happen inside.
Counselor Zaret?
Thank you. Just a quick follow-up too. I just wanted to clarify, this is PCR, it's not rapid testing, is that correct?
That is correct. Thank you.
Do you know about how quick the turnaround is anticipated on the test, Mayor?
My personal experience, it's within 24 hours. And I think their disclaimer is no more than 72. But I'm not, I haven't, I mean, I've been tested at the farmer's market by the same company and have gotten results the next morning at 9 a.m. So, you know, that's where they definitely have their stuff together. I should also mention the results go to, you can get a text or you can get an email for results. This isn't somebody calls you, you have to call them back. It's private. No one in the city, you know, somebody might see you standing there, but your medical information goes nowhere except to curative and then to your email or to text.
Great. Anyone else? Counselor Kwasinski?
Back again, just with regard to texts and emails, that's great for everyone who texts and emails on a regular basis. But some people do use the phone. Will they still be using the telephone for?
Yeah, I mean, there are
for this?
alternative ways to get a hold of folks, and maybe our health department is going to help with that, depending where the people are from. But Curative did have other options. The big thing is, it's not a lot of people. It was hard. You get a call from a testing site, and then you call them back, and then But no,
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I just didn't want to discourage anyone who.
No, there's no matter how you communicate, we'll get you those results in a private, confidential way.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else from the council? Okay, I'll take a motion to open the public hearings. Thank you, Mayor.
So moved.
Thank you.
Again.
Motion is second to open the public hearings. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Yes.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff.
Aye. Public hearings are now open. First thing up is a poll location. Counselor Zaret.
Thank you. This will be potentially both two quick poll discussions. So we met this past Monday at 6 p.m., I believe, if I'm correct, and discussed the two poll items. The first is this 20/30 Ballard Street. The proposal, I'm just pulling it up here, is to install a new pole. This is strictly actually for power, but we did discuss reserving a cross arm for police and fire signals and a further expansion for the municipality for communication purposes. This is on Ballard Street, where there's potentially a new development going in, and there will also be two pad-mounted transformers associated with this as well. I could pull up a map if you'd like. So the TLDR version is we met on this, and the committee recommended 3-0 in favor to the council to vote in the affirmative on this. However, yesterday afternoon, I received a phone call from a resident on Ballard Street who is closely situated to where the digging will likely be for the new pole, and had concerns, and there were concerns that I wasn't able to fully answer. And I'll just say for myself personally, that I would feel more comfortable being able to have a discussion with Eversource and have Eversource connect with this resident before we move forward with voting on this. I believe that the digging will not affect this resident, but I couldn't answer that with 100% certainty. And my understanding is that this is not an urgent issue. And so again, this was recommended 3-0 from the committee, but there's a resident with a concern, and I would recommend that we postpone or continue this vote until I can get more answers. I have reached out to Eversource today, but I haven't heard back.
I would agree. I would think that seems like a question we would want an answer to, and rather than go through an entire discussion right now and then have to redo it, I'm totally fine with continuing this public hearing until the 15th.
Okay, so at this time then, President Coniff, I'd like to make a motion to continue the public hearing for the poll request on Ballard Street until the 15th.
Second.
Motion second to continue the public hearing for the Ballard Street poll. Any further discussion? Barbara.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Yes.
Tom Peak.
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby.
Aye.
Okay. Next one is on Park Street, Counselor Zaret.
The next one is on Park Street. So this is a proposal to, this is a jointly owned poll. The request is to place a jointly owned pole on the west side of Park Street, about 86 feet northerly of the center line of South Street. This pole would be situated approximately 22 feet from another existing pole that would stay in place, although I do have to question if that's a temporary pole that we had discussed a few meetings ago, but regardless, it currently, as it stands, this would place a new pole 22 feet northerly of an existing pole. Right, if you're coming down South Street and look to your left, there's already a pole right there on the corner, and this would place another pole 22 feet from it. The purpose of this pole is to provide service and access to a proposed solar field that is potentially going in across the street, which is just for informational purposes only and not really part of the discussion here. So the committee met, there were a couple issues with this item. The first being that the schematics that were provided to us were an old map of Park Street, and so it did not represent the current roundabout, rotary, traffic circle, what have you. The other question that was raised was that whether this pole would cause a visual obstruction to motorists turning onto or off of South Street. And for that purpose, the committee recommended and came to a consensus that there should be a site visit. And so we're in the process of trying to arrange a mutually acceptable date for that. I believe next Friday had been thrown out. We could probably come to that consensus later on during the committee report, if that's okay. But so this item also, I would recommend being continued unless there's any questions or urgency to this item from members of the council.
I have no objection to continuing the public hearing. Is there any objection to continuing the public hearing? Counselor Rist.
Just a question, Councilor Zaret. Does this have anything to do with the new school, and is there any delay in any progress on the new school that is affected by this poll? You said it was a solar field. There's nothing connected to the new school, right?
Not to my understanding, Councilor Rist. And the other complication with this too is we're very fortunate to have an Eversource representative who was aware of this, but there was some confusion also as to which pole on South Street we were discussing. And so no, this is I believe this is for a private solar field that's not related to the school project. So my understanding is no. But I think we should be able to wrap this up for the next meeting, if that's acceptable.
Okay, I don't see any objection to continuing the public hearing, so I'll take a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to continue the discussion regarding the jointly owned proposal for a jointly owned pole on Park Street, to continue that to the December 15th meeting.
Second,
Motion second to continue the public hearing on the Park Street pole relocation or location to September 15th. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
yes.
Tom Peak.
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood.
Aye. That's too bad. That was the most exciting part of the public hearing I was looking forward to tonight. Oh, well. Supplemental appropriations, Counselor Riss.
Thank you. We have 4. The first is a $5,000 appropriation from free cash to the Veterans District budget. As you know, we have a district with South Hadley. They are giving $5,000 towards this recertification of the district. And we are matching it with $5,000. This is rather straightforward need for recertification. I see Michael Slattery is here. And first I want to thank you, Michael, for your help. And the mayor, I don't know if they want to add any comments to this, but obviously we want our veterans district to be recertified. So we voted 3-0 to approve this last evening.
Michael, did you want to say any words at this time during the public hearing? There you are.
Thank you, President. So yeah, just to reiterate on this request, we currently have 65 clients between the two communities, and the importance of the recertification process is to ensure that the city receives back its 75% that it pays out. Last year we had a buffer with COVID, probably the only good thing to come out of COVID. So we had 6 months to knock out recertification. This year we don't have that. We have till the end of January, and then that money is going to start getting tied up at the state level. So it's very important that we get this done, and contracting with another office is going to make it possible. So that's all I have to say. And I just like to thank Easthampton for their support.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for what you do too as well.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions of Michael or Counselor Rist, or if the mayor has any comments she would like to make? Go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah, I would just want to underscore that one, this isn't adding a position. It's specifically to help with the recertification in the past. We have, as a city, had some difficulty in challenging balancing veteran services and getting recertification, tracking down paperwork, and doing that in an untimely manner, which has jeopardized the 75% we're eligible to get back, and sometimes has resulted in us actually not getting the 75% back. So the problem solving from Mike Slater, as well as the South Hadley Veterans Council and their district board, is much appreciated, and we're all the better off for.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone from the council have any comments? Anyone from the public have any comments? Not seeing any, I'll take a motion to approve this appropriation.
I move that the full council approve a supplemental appropriation of $5,000. The amount is to be transferred from free cash, $5,000, to be transferred to the Veterans District budget, $5,000, for the purpose contract with Northampton Veterans District for assistance recertifying the South Hadley Easthampton Veterans District clients, matching $5,000 provided by South Hadley.
Second,
Motion is second for supplemental appropriation for the Veterans District budget. Any further discussion? Barbara.
JP Kaczynski,
yes.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next up is $30,000.
$30,000 for the library. This is coming from the Cannabis Stabilization Fund. This is primarily this is discussed this summer. I'll let the mayor and I see Marge is here from the library, update their educational programs. And the Finance Committee voted 3-0, and I welcome this appropriation for the library. so I don't know if.
I know we have Elizabeth Applequist and the mayor. Elizabeth, would you like to make a comment?
Yes, I would. I'm here as the president of the library board. And first, I just want to thank you all for taking the time to consider voting to pass on the $30,000 appropriation to the library. And I wanted to explain that the $30,000 will really help relieve the pressure on our endowment draw. And it will be focused on spending that supports normal operations. And we're really looking forward to any future collaborations and discussions that we can have with the city on how we can just keep making our library even better and just keep improving it. And I think, to be honest, our concern is we just want to make sure that the library doesn't end up being an afterthought, because I think we can probably all agree how important it is. And this helps us to really feel heard. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Mayor, did you have any comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to, of course, the library, we did an appropriation around Martin Luther King Day to fund further programming out of the library around equity and inclusion. This $30,000 request is specifically to give the library budget some room to breathe. It's not a lot, but was promised by me to put forth as an appropriation some time ago. So apologies for it taking so long. Thank you, Elizabeth, for the reminder. Marge, the past president, has instructed you well that the mayor needs a lot of reminding. And while not right on this appropriation, I just thank Councilor Zaret and Elizabeth and Marge for a work group that's going to be starting up to talk about the future of the library and more stable funding sources. So yes, it's only $30,000, but there is a push forward to look at long-term supports for the library out of many different areas. So thank you. I appreciate a vote in favor of this appropriation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Is there anyone else from the public, or actually, let me start with the counselors. Do the counselors have anything they would like to make a comment about? Councilor Zaret.
First of all, President Conniff, a big thanks to you and Councilor Rothschild for participating in these discussions around this appropriation. I think time means nothing to me, but I think that was springish or summerish that we talked about this. So that was great. And it's good to see ongoing good use of our cannabis money to items such as our library, which has funding challenges that we're trying to figure out, as the mayor spoke to. So pleased to be assisting in this and to have certainly worked with the mayor, the library committee, and members of the council to get this going and to continue to work. And we need help, so people should feel free to step to volunteer as well. So, but yeah, great use of our money.
Is there anyone from the public who would like to make a comment on this appropriation? Okay, Marge.
Marge
go
has
ahead.
it.
Yeah, I got it. Marge, go ahead.
I just want to thank the mayor and the counselors, the 3 counselors that sat with us, and all the counselors that believe in us. We know that we're on the path for good conversation. And I really appreciate the openness, the follow through. Nichol, you are an amazing woman. You got a lot going on. I have no problem nudging you here and there. And I really appreciate the follow through. And I appreciate Elizabeth for being right in front and working side by side with me. So guys, thanks so much for taking the library to a new level of conversation.
Thank you, Marge. All right, I don't see any other folks wanting to make a comment. So at this time, I'll take a motion.
I move that the full council approve a supplemental appropriation. The amount requested is $30,000 to be transferred from the Cannabis Stabilization Fund, $30,000 to be transferred to the library account, $30,000 for the purpose of funding the resources and funding for the Emily Williston Memorial Library.
Second.
Motion and a second for a supplemental appropriation for the library in the amount of $30,000. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Tom Peak.
Aye.
Dan Rist.
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild.
Hi.
Owen Zaret.
Yes.
Peg Coniff.
Aye.
Salem Derby.
Aye.
Erica Flood.
Aye.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
JP Kaczynski.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next up is a big number. Go ahead, Counselor Riss.
This is a police personnel services request of $328,771.50. This is primarily related to the contract for the police union, which has recently been signed by the mayor. There are a number of items in here that I'd like to go over, and I'll request that the chief correct me when I misspeak. First, the main item is the base pay is increased for the contract. Secondly, the education incentive is increased, and this education incentive is structured identically to the fire department's recent contract, which I believe we funded in the spring. Just so you understand, this is based on the total credits a police officer might receive if they get a degree. It is not a pay-as-you-go, get 2 credits and you get paid. You have to have a degree, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or a master's degree. There is also a new Emt Ascent Incentive, which is designed to give officers incentive to get their EMT training. Why? Because normally police officers are the first on the scene, say of an accident where there may be injuries and they can provide some first aid until the paramedics arrive. The police officers will pay for this training on their own, but if they achieve the certification from the state as EMTs, they will get this incentive. There's also the normal holiday pay as is normal to contracts. Second part of this is a payout for Officer Bruce Nichol, who is retiring. We don't know when an officer is retiring, so it's very hard to budget for these items. As the mayor indicated last night, she'd rather conservatively budget the police department's budget in June and then come back to us when we have new items such as this or unknown overtime, et cetera. So I'll allow the chief to come back on now and let us know if I've properly introduced this, and also the mayor.
Chief Alberti, if you'd like to make a comment.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, councilors. The only, Councilor Rishi nailed it. The only thing that I would add is in January, the police and the city negotiated a 5% increase for body worn cameras. And that calculation is already in this police base pay. So I won't be coming back to the councilor seeking that 5%. It's already figured into the base pay. In addition to that, we just received notice this week that we received a $40,000 grant from the state for the body worn cameras. So that'll be very helpful. But other than that, Councilor Risch, you have it. I'm happy to answer any questions.
First, Mayor, did you want to make any comments before we take questions of the chief?
I just, to reiterate what I was saying last night around these big requests, not just police, but fire. I come to the council frequently with the department heads. I believe my budgeting strategy is that when we have unknown costs, but we know we will have costs, I leave them out of the general operating budget. I put in a placeholder of like, say, 100,000. And we know from forecasting past years that it'll be over that. Another great example is snow and ice. I don't like to tie up money in an operating budget when there are so many unknowns, where we could perhaps leverage that money for something else, like a matching grant for infrastructure improvement. I also think that for the sake of transparency, departments and the mayor should come back to council with these types of appropriations so they understand what exactly their money is being spent on and how. Some folks have said that it's misleading the operating budget, and then these appropriations come through. I find them to be more detailed. and transparent rather than putting a big plug of money in an operating budget with very little tracking at a city council level. So with that, thank you for letting me comment.
You bet. Chief, can you just clarify something? And admittedly, this is probably me. So does an officer need to have a bachelor's degree before they get the reimbursement, or can they get the reimbursement as they go towards their educational reimbursement as they go toward the bachelor's? They have to have achieved it to get the reimbursement?
They have to have achieved it, and they have to provide the department with the necessary paperwork from the colleges before I will sign off on it.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Counselor Zarek.
And please tell me if this is out of the purview of this discussion. The body cameras, Chief, is that like a pilot program? I thought
It actually is, I think, out of the purview of this. Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah. I'm eager to discuss it as well. We just can't do it this evening. Anyone else from the council who have any questions about this particular appropriation? Anyone from the public who has any comments about this appropriation? Okay, not seeing any, I will take a motion. Hold on. Shelby and Donovan, go ahead.
Hi, Donovan Lee, resident of District 4. I just want to say, as regards to the police officers getting incentive pay for EMS training, I just think that this money could be better spent hiring EMS personnel that could be an employment opportunity for another person in our community. And the more EMS personnel we hire, we could have more dedicated medical personnel responding to medical calls than having police officers respond to medical calls. People with EMT training are not necessarily great responders unless they are equipped with EMS gear. So I just think this money could be better spent hiring dedicated EMS personnel to get to the scene first, rather than police who don't have the correct equipment getting there, and that's not their primary role in the situation. Just speaking as a licensed EMT that spent over a year at responding to 911 calls. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone? Well, Councilor Gomez.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to add the Councilor Rest probably is going to say now, I don't know, but he's forgot about the balance. The balance is for the cannabis account is $481,942 with 65 cents after these appropriations.
Thank you.
Actually, thank you, Councilor Gomez. Hadel, can you update us? You were going to tell us about revenue coming in and what we might have. I know it's 400 and some thousand after this appropriation, and we have a number of them under new business tonight. But did we get a new revenue increase in cannabis stabilization today? You said something about that last night.
Yes, we have received a revenue in November, and that is $87,035.35. So that after these two appropriations, our balance is at $568,978.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks,
Thank you for getting us.
Any other comments from anyone? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. That was a thumbs up, Councilor Derby. I will take a motion to approve.
I move that the full council approve a supplemental appropriation. The amount requested is $328,771.50 to be transferred from the Cannabis Stabilization Fund to be transferred to the following accounts. They all have the same first numbers, so I'll read the last number. The 5111 account, $39,294.96. The 5142 account, $237,257.75. The 5144 account, $18,186.33. The 5151 account, $548.01. In the 5153 account, $22,814.35. In the 5156 account, $10,670.10. For the purpose of providing funding for the additional costs of the FY22, FY24 to FY24 Police Union contract, and for the payout of Sergeant Bruce Nichols' retirement.
Second.
Motion and a second for the supplemental appropriation for the police contract. Any further discussion? Barbara.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
My mouse is sticking high.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Aye.
Tom Peak.
Motion passes. Next one,
But-
Counselor Rist.
The last appropriation is $17,680.35 to support our urban grant deficit. And I'll ask the mayor to correct me, but I think, and I'm going to state all this so that I understand it better. We received a $25,000 grant to fund the Blueprint Easthampton initiative by the mayor, which helps entrepreneurs and businesses. Those grants were handed out, and there was supposed to be another $25,000 grant with a deadline of June 30th. The mayor believed that the appropriate, I'll use the term, grants that we were giving to the local entrepreneurs was sufficient to get that grant, but apparently the state changed the rules. And that wasn't sufficient, so now we're not getting that second $25,000 grant. And we owe these entrepreneurs a reimbursement of all of the participants in this program. So this is to cover for those reimbursements we were supposed to use the grant for. Mayor, please correct any of that. I hope I understood it correctly.
No, that's exactly what happened. We had to spend $25,000 by June 30th. We accounted for that $25,000, but 5,000 of it was not in the actual possession of the entrepreneur who was granted that. And the state did not accept that as proof of meeting the grant goals to spend. In the past, we've actually had several grants where we've asked for an extension because something literally wasn't delivered, wasn't going to be delivered. And that exception did not apply to this grant. I take full responsibility for that. That was $5,000, but the rest of it was anticipation of getting the second $25,000. And we did not, which increased the deficit in the grant line item. So I'm asking for the difference for one, the 5,000 we didn't spend in time, and then the 17, the rest of the amount for what we didn't get in the second part of the grant. As I said last night at committee, I take full responsibility for not minding the requirements of this grant and reading the fine print and making the assumption that we could get an extension, especially in the face of COVID. I was wrong. But also the money that I'm asking for goes directly to reimburse these entrepreneurs who bought the equipment like purchase of sales and printers and computers to further their business activity. So they're waiting on reimbursement. Not a public concern with public dollars, my fault, but I did want to put that out there and thank them all for their patience and participating in our first cohort.
And the Finance Committee voted 3-0 to support this and to support these entrepreneurs.
Any questions from the counselors? Any comments from the public? Okay, seeing none, I'll take a motion.
I'm getting off easy tonight, Madam
I
President.
know.
I move that the full council approve a supplemental appropriation. The amount requested is $17,688.35 to be transferred from free cash, $17,688.35 to be transferred to the UA grant account, $17,688.35 the amount requested for the purpose for the urban agenda grant deficit to city council in the amount of $17,688.35. This amount includes PO received to date in the audit department.
Second,
Motion and a second for a supplemental appropriation to backfill, if you will, the UA grant fund. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
aye.
Tom Peak.
Aye.
Dan Rist.
Aye,
Okay, motion passes. I'll take a motion to close the public hearings.
so moved.
Second,
Motion second to close the public hearings. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
aye.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye,
Lindsay Rothschild.
Aye.
All right, public hearings are now closed. We've concluded some business prior to the start of the public hearing, so we'll move right into standing committee reports. Finance, Counselor Rist.
yes, the Finance Committee met last night and you heard the results of that. We will meet again, and this is a different time, Tuesday, the 14th, to accommodate Counselor Coniff's being away. So that's right before the next meeting. So Tuesday, the 14th at 5 o'clock. I'm hoping all of the necessary participants can meet at that time. There are a number of new business items this evening, which will be on the docket for that evening. The first item, I'm now going to move a bunch of items to new business. The first item does not need a public hearing. I move that the CPA change of scope request for Payson Avenue and the rail trail crossing design construction drawings be moved to the Finance Committee for review.
Second.
Motion is second to move the CPA interdepartmental transfer to the Finance Committee. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Peg Coniff,
Yes.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Yes,
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye,
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret.
Yes.
now I will move the following items to be sent to Finance Committee and to set a public hearing for December 15th. I'll make that as a motion and then someone can second when I'm done reading. The first item is an interdepartmental transfer from the CPA, $255,576 to be transferred from the Old Town Hall second floor construction retained city match, $255,576 to be transferred to the Old Town Hall second floor construction project, $255,576 for the purpose of construction phase 1, HVAC improvements, boiler replacement, and building and electrical upgrades. The next item is an interdepartmental transfer of $53,000 to be transferred from the PEG access account, $53,000 to be transferred to the PEG access account, $53,000 to give approval to spend from the PEG access receipts reserved account for cable-related purposes consistent with the franchise agreement. The next item is a supplemental appropriation. The amount requested is $1,324 to be transferred from free cash, $1,324 to be transferred to account 111F workers comp account, $1,324 to be used for the following purpose: for fire and police accident and sickness policy renewal remaining balance, unanticipated expense in FY22 budgeting. The next item is a supplemental appropriation. The amount requested is $14,730 to be transferred from free cash, $14,730 to be transferred to the school workers comp account, $5,675, and the city workers comp account, $9,055 for the following purpose: for workers comp employee coverage, policy renewal remaining balance, unanticipated expense in FY22 budgeting. The next item is a supplemental appropriation of $27,000 to be transferred from free cash, to be transferred to City Archival Records Project Phase 3, $27,000, for the following purpose: to complete phase 3 of the city's records management project. Funding will cover labor and materials to continue records work at the Public Safety Complex and Council on Aging. It will also include funding to cover the allowable destruction of records in accordance with state municipal records retention schedule. The next item is a supplemental appropriation of $27,462.13 to be transferred from the cannabis impact account to be transferred to the individual employee wage accounts listed in the amounts listed in the last column of the attached spreadsheet, which is the pay plan spreadsheet, $27,462.13, to increase income to keep up with the rising cost of living and increase in minimum wage for our employees. CRC supplemental. The following supplemental appropriation is $10,000 to be transferred from the Cannabis Stabilization Fund, $10,000 to be transferred to the Community Relations Committee support, $10,000 for the following purpose: educational public forum budget. Next item, a supplemental appropriation amount requested $150,000 to be transferred from cannabis, $150,000 to be transferred to legal services easement Union Street corridor, $150,000. The amount requested will be used for the following purpose: to cover the cost to acquire temporary and permanent easements for the Union Street TIP project. Next item is a $1,400 supplemental appropriation to be transferred from free cash, $1,400 to be transferred to central purchasing postage, $1,400 for the following purpose: to incorporate postage for retirement board into central purchasing postage budget. The next item is a Community Preservation Act request, a supplemental appropriation of $5,730 to be appropriated from CPA Reserve for Historic Resources. Excuse me, $5,730 to be appropriated to the Park and Rec Historical Designations, $5,730 for the purpose of hiring a consultant to prepare National Register Historic Designation forms for the Daly Field Stonehouse bathroom, Brookside Cemetery building, and the Brookside Cemetery grounds. The following is also a Community Preservation Act supplemental appropriation request for $14,600 to be appropriated fund the CPA Reserve Fund, $10,412, and the CPA Undesignated Fund, $4,188, for a total of $14,600 to be appropriated to the Nonotuck Pool Restoration Design, $14,600 for the following purpose: for Nonotuck Park Pool Facility Restoration Design Phase, hire consultants to access pool infrastructure and design improvements to the surrounding area, including ADA accessibility. I believe that's all of them. I move that these be set to Finance Committee and set for public hearing on December 15th.
Second.
Motion is second for all of the aforementioned appropriations to be moved to finance and set for public hearing. Any further discussion? Barbara.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Yes.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff.
Aye.
Madam President, that concludes.
Thank you, Councilor Rist. Question. Just a question. Is the CPA change of scope request a finance thing, or is that going to?
I just moved it to finance before.
Oh, did you?
started.
I must
Yes,
have dozed off during that. My apologies.
it is a finance thing.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, thank you, Councilor Rist. Councilor Gomez, Public Safety.
Thank you, Madam President. Our last meeting was November 16th, so we didn't have any meeting after the full city council meeting, but we schedule our next meeting for December 7th at 7 p.m. And we have a new business that I wanna move to public safety. I wanna move to Public Safety Committee for the agenda item, quarterly fire department report.
Second.
Again,
Motion and a second to create an agenda item for fire department quarterly reports. Any further discussion? Barbara.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez,
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Aye.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby.
Aye.
Yeah, motion passes.
That concludes.
Thank you, Counselor Gomez. Appointments, Counselor Rothschild.
So there's 32 reappointments. Can I move them in one package? And then there's one appointment.
No, there's
30.
two
Three.
news and 31.
Oh, no, the one at the very beginning of it. So 31, right?
And two new.
Appointments.
And then 2 new ones.
Yes.
Can I move the 31 reappointments all together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll move the other 2 together. So I'd like to move the 31 mayoral reappointments to the Appointments Committee.
I'll second.
Motion second to move the 31 mayoral appointments to the Appointment Committee. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Peg Coniff,
Yes.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Aye.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
And then also move the following 2 mayoral appointments to the Appointment Committee. Robert Newton to the Aquifer Protection Committee with a term expiration 12/31/2022. And Emad Hack Frenchko, might be saying that wrong, to the ECA Committee with a term ending 12/31/2023.
Second.
Motion second to move 2 new mayoral appointments to the Appointment Committee. Any further discussion? Barbara?
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood,
Aye.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Yes.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff.
Aye.
Great. And so our next meeting, as we had agreed to, the second Wednesdays of the month. So it's Wednesday, December 8th at 4 p.m. And thus concludes.
Thank you. Ordinance, Counselor Derby.
Thank you, Madam President. Ordinance Committee met last night. We had a very interesting discussion on 7 Groveland Ave, which is the gateway to highway business. And we are actually going to be doing a site visit on December 11th, which is a Saturday at 10 a.m. To walk the property, to take a look at the potential impact of rezoning that parcel or part of that parcel potentially. And so that is upcoming. We also have a joint public hearing that is coming up on the 14th at 6 p.m. with the planning board, where we're going to be discussing the 40R Smart Growth Overlay District. And then we also have another meeting scheduled for the 21st at 6 p.m. Where we're going to dive into the empty storefront ordinance and also look at the Juneteenth ordinance as well. So we're going to do double duty that night. And it doesn't look like I have any housekeeping to do. So if it pleases the president, thus concludes.
Thank you, Counselor Derby.
What day was that meeting, that last one?
21st.
23rd, okay, sorry.
Yep.
And property, Counselor Zaret.
Thank you. We already discussed the 2 poll location requests. Those public hearings have been continued. If for the 2 committee members present, I know we had discussed potentially scheduling a meeting for a site visit for the Park Street location. Have either of the counselors in the interim had an opportunity to drive by the location, which could potentially obviate the need for an actual site visit?
Yes, I indeed had a chance to go through there today. And my one comment is I really wish that the map that was provided was more up to date because it was quite inaccurate. There are a number of poles directly in a line. So just given what I saw today and the information we were provided with, I think an updated map would go a long way. I don't necessarily see another pole adding any limitations on sight lines, just because there's far more there than were represented on the map. So my concerns about sight lines today were removed, but I I would like to see an updated map just for the public's reference and for other counselors. So that's my one comment.
Counselor Kwasinski, do you, I'm certainly happy to entertain a site visit. Do you feel that we need one? Do you want to drive by like Counselor Flood did?
I'd be happy to drive by perhaps even tomorrow and have a look, and then if I feel a need to for the site visit, I will text you.
Sounds perfect.
Schedule
So,
something.
I'm sorry.
And I just said, and we can schedule something.
Okay, great. Yeah. So we absolutely do need an updated map for that item. And so I will do my best to obtain one prior to the next meeting. We also have continuing business of the boundary line agreement with the owner of 99 Hendrick Street. This is an item where the Daigle family owns a parcel that borders on our water plant on Hendrick Street, and there's some easements involved, and we need to continue to discuss this. So I would like to be able to do that prior to the next meeting. So I will send an email out after this meeting to the committee members to try to get something together so we can successfully hopefully have public hearings on those poll locations, as well as discuss the boundary line and get this wrapped up. And I will ask Eversource again for an appropriate map for Park Street. And I'm just looking here. Actually, nope, with nothing else here. So this concludes.
Thank you. Counselor Peak, Rules and Government Relations.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, would it be your, am I inferring correctly that we should be sending the calendar to Rules, or do you want to just vote on that tonight, or?
My preference would be to vote on it tonight if there are no objections from the
Okay.
council. Any
So I don't-
objections from the council to vote on the calendar for next year? Okay, then go ahead.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to accept the proposed calendar for next year's city council meetings.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the city council meeting calendar for next year, 2022. Any further discussion? Barbara.
Erica Flood,
Yes.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
JP Kaczynski,
Aye.
Tom Peak.
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Hi.
Owen Zaret,
This is just to move it correctly, correct?
Now we're voting to approve it.
Oh, the calendar?
Yep.
Oh, there's a conflict with a Jewish holiday.
Okay, we can amend it right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was, let me pull that up. It's the 1st October meeting, I believe. Oh, I think it's October 5th. Am I correct?
Should I
Yeah,
retract my motion then?
Yeah, the motion in a second. If all agreed, please remove your motion in a second.
Yeah, I'll retract my motion.
And who did the second?
That was Councilor Derby.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Councilor Zaret.
I'm just looking here. So I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find it again in the, oh, there it is. It's under 2022 calendar. It's really confusing. Wednesday, October 5th is Yom Kippur. I don't know how this lunar holiday seems to find its way into our conflict with our calendar every year, but I certainly won't attend the meeting, and I would request that the council consider moving that meeting if possible.
Is there any suggestions on which week to move it to? The 12th, which would then necessitate back-to-back city council meetings, or forward to September 28th, which would also necessitate back-to-back city council meetings? Councilor Riss?
I'm going to raise this question. It is a very major Jewish holiday, and I respect that. But what happens when if we have a lot of holidays that come up, although they haven't in the past, I wouldn't move Roman Catholic holidays, although sometimes the Ash Wednesday falls on a Wednesday with a council meeting, for instance, but I don't think it compares to Yom Kippur. I don't have any objection to this, but it concerns me. So I don't know, separation of church and state. But on the other hand, it is a very important holiday, and I think that's something we should consider. I'm just confused.
Yeah, well,
Troubled by it, that's all.
that's fine. I'm going to just weigh in here and say that I think it goes beyond just the folks on the council, that it speaks to the transparency and the ability of the public to attend our meetings. And if they are worshiping or servicing or having a holiday in the middle of that, it kind of limits their ability to participate in government. And I think to the degree that we can make that easier, and this seems like an easy fix, we can entertain changes like we're doing right now as they come. And I have, in my 6 years, I've never seen a change to any other holiday. And so I think this is completely warranted.
I have to agree, that has relieved my.
Hang on, Dan, hang on. Councilor Kwasinski, go ahead, JP.
I agree with President Coniff. I think that we should amend the calendar, and I was going to suggest that if it's appropriate, would a Tuesday or a Thursday meeting work for anyone? Rather than to try to have back-to-back meetings, to continue with the separation of a couple of weeks generally. But we used to meet on Tuesdays all the time. And I believe Councilor Derby had a conflict with a school commitment, and we had changed from Tuesdays, and now it's Wednesdays. So as long as it's published and the public knows well in advance, and we can announce it for a couple of meetings, I wouldn't have any problems with that, provided it didn't interfere with the religious holiday.
Thank you, JP. Councilor Riss.
I want to thank you, Madam President, because that was an incredibly valid point, and it certainly relieves my objections. And I also agree with Councilor Kwasinski that Tuesday would be better. We have often had public hearings, for instance, and they need time to be scheduled. So putting back-to-back council meetings does restrict our work. So I would agree to having it the Tuesday before, I guess, October 4th, unless there's some other reason not to. I think that's better. Barbara might have an objection, but anyway, I like 2 weeks between.
Okay, Councilor Peak.
I'm actually really interested in what Barbara and Councilor Zaret have to say, so I will.
Barbara?
Tuesdays are not particularly good days. We've got school committee and planning board that both meet on Tuesdays. I can't remember what week they are, but if we're back in person.
How about Thursday?
I think Thursday would be better.
Okay.
Okay, good. Oh, sorry,
Councilor Zaret?
I was going to recommend Thursday just because of the way that the holidays work with sundown and such.
Okay. All right, so if someone would like to make a motion to approve the amended city council calendar for 2022 with the change from October 5th to Thursday, October 6th, I'll take that motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second for an amended city council meeting calendar. Any further discussion? Councilor Zaret.
I just want to thank the council for their ongoing sensitivity to the Jewish holidays, and certainly it's not a majority religion in Easthampton, but it's not unusual practice in other municipalities. And I would just say also, certainly if another faith brought forward a concern about a conflict with one of our meetings, I would certainly entertain it as well. So thank you for the ongoing thoughtful discussion, and we'll see what the lunar calendar brings us for 2023.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we're taking a vote. Sorry. Go ahead, Barb.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
JP Kaczynski.
Aye.
Tom Peak.
Aye.
Dan Rist.
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild.
Aye.
Owen Zaret.
Yes.
Peg Coniff.
Aye.
Salem Derby.
Aye.
Erica Flood.
Aye.
Okay, great. Motion passes. Anything
And-
else, Councilor Peak?
No, the only thing on our agenda is something that I don't think we're not ready to move forward on. I don't think there's anything else we're introducing. We haven't met yet, so.
I just have a request.
What's that?
Since I am leaving the council and I am the clerk of the rules and I have finished minutes that are not approved, can we have a 5-minute meeting in the next 2 weeks to approve those minutes so I can be everything can go out like unencumbered.
That sounds great. I will text you both to just figure out what the best time to do a
Okay,
5
thank
minute
you.
meeting is. But if it's only 5 minutes, pretty much any time should probably work.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. All right, the only other thing.
I saw Councilor Rist raised his hand.
Just thought that since Councilor Coniff, you're going to be out of town, so never mind. Has to be before.
Yeah, you got to work in my vacations now, which are coming rapidly and frequently. So
Tom, good luck with that.
We'll make it work. You will both hear from me momentarily.
and the only
must
other
be-
thing is the thanks, Tom. The only other thing is the ad hoc committee and JP. You can certainly do it next meeting, but there's the open question of continuing this committee, although it will expire at the end of the year if you do nothing. So we can still have that discussion next meeting.
I look forward to that. Thank you.
So can I just ask you, is there something that you want to continue about that meeting? Because I don't think any of the members are actually still in it. Is there something you were concerned about by disbanding it?
Well, the concern here was that there be sufficient support for administration of the program. And with the change of personnel in the enrichment center, there's been there's a learning curve, and I want to be sure this all gets off the ground and that we provide the support necessary, and that it wouldn't become a burden for the administration of the city. And so I think the council has a role in that regard to help smooth the process.
Yeah, I
And
approve.
it is
I
a
agree.
pilot program that I think has some, I think has gone very well, but I'd like to be able to summarize that. And,
Okay, and I'll just suggest that with the departure of so many members of that committee, that you certainly have the opportunity to reseat it next year with a different mix, which I imagine it will require. It will need to be a different mix because mostly everybody has moved on. So keep that in mind, that while if we disband this committee, you can, and the president can name a new committee next year for the ongoing operational issues of the senior tax work-off program. So I'll leave that up to you, but I just throw that out there as an option.
thank you.
All right. New business, old business. I think we're done. I will take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
So eager. Motion in a second. Barbara?
JP Kaczynski,
Aye.
Tom Peak,
Aye.
Dan Rist,
Aye.
Lindsay Rothschild,
Aye.
Owen Zaret,
Yes.
Peg Coniff,
Aye.
Salem Derby,
Aye.
Erica Flood.
Aye.
Omar Gomez.
Aye.
Great. Everybody have a great evening. Take care.